My dad works in B2B marketing. He came by my school for career day and said he was a big ROAS man. Then he told everyone how much he loved calculating his return on ad spend. My friends still laugh at me to this day.
Not everyone gets B2B, but with LinkedIn, you'll be able to reach people who do. Get a $100 credit on your next ad campaign. Go to linkedin.com/results to claim your credit. That's linkedin.com/results. Terms and conditions apply. LinkedIn, the place to be, to be.
2024, what a year. I don't even know how it's possible for a year to be the best year of my life, but also the worst year of my life at the same time. A lot has happened. It has been a roller coaster. I feel like I've lived 5 different lives in 1 year. I'm definitely a different person than I was at the beginning of the year. And that is what we're going to be chatting about today, especially as I feel like a lot of YouTubers, when they do their kind of end of year video, it's all about the great things and the positive things. And it's like, woo, this is all I've achieved. But I am going to be talking about some good things. Don't worry, it's not all doom and gloom. But I'm also going to be chatting about some of the not so good things that have happened this year, because I know that some of you guys watching, you're going to be like, Ez, I'm not going to lie, 2024 has been a little bit rough for me. Don't worry, we're all in this together. I've had some rough times too. And I think definitely when it comes to social media, if you're scrolling through your feed, it has this kind of feeling that every day must be the best day of your life. If you're not living the best day of your life today and every day, then you're doing something wrong, which is not the case at all, because the whole journey of life is that you have good times, you have bad times, you have some really bad times sometimes, and you have some really, really good times sometimes. And that's just the way the cookie crumbles. And yeah, 2024 has definitely been that for me. I also think when we look back on our years, we often kind of, the bad things really jump out to us, especially as they kind of get, when you think about them, you have that really extreme emotion thinking about these feelings. But actually, some of the good moments are things that maybe you don't really, write down on your bucket list. So for me, for example, some of my best memories from this year is just hanging out with my friends, going to the beach, going swimming in the sea. And, that's not like a big achievement or a big goal that I've ticked off. But, just hang out with my friends, laughing with them. I can't even remember what we were laughing about, but they are probably some of my happiest moments of this year. And it goes to show that that's one of the reasons why if you've been watching me for a while, you'll know that I have a scrapbook. Each week in my scrapbook, I write down what I did that week, and often when you're looking back on the week, there are so many happy memories and positive things that have happened that maybe your brain doesn't even register. Like, oh, I met up with that friend for a coffee, it was so nice to catch up, that was a really lovely time. We're just, hanging out with my grandparents, chatting with them, put it in my scrapbook, and it's so nice each week to just kind of look back on what I got done that week, what I did that week, what I got up to. And I think a lot of the time, I don't know if anyone else is like this is definitely something that I feel a lot, is each day, I look back on what I've done each day, and you always overestimate how much you can get done in a day. And I'm like, oh, I still have so much to do on my to-do list that I need to do tomorrow, I need to get done, I didn't get that done. But actually, when you step back and you think, you always underestimate how much you can get done in a year. So I know that January, we're coming up to that time where everyone's like, I need to get on my grind. I need to do this, this, and this, and this. A year is a long time when you really think about it. And I have managed to get done a lot more this year than I expected. Some things that I wish didn't happen in this year. But anyway, this year has been tough. I have had a lot of loss. We've lost some equine friends this year, 3 of them, which is a lot. I've also had a family member that's been ill, which was a bit of a shock as well, with them having emergency surgery, going through chemo. Obviously, this kind of stuff is a little bit private, so I won't go into it. But also, it just goes to show, with my social media, I do want to try and keep it a positive, happy place that people can go to when they're having a bad day. They can watch my videos and see the horses being goofy and be cheered up, or see what I'm getting done with the cottage and hear the adventures that I've been on. But also, I want to let you know that in life, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. And I do have bad times as well. But sometimes those bad times, I like to keep private. You don't need to know about all of those things. So anyway, I just wanted to put that out there before we start today's video. But also, this year we have had something really big happen that honestly I put it on my 2024 vision board. I do that each year. I'm one of those people. I apologize, but it's good fun. It gets you motivated. I put on reach 1 million subscribers. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't expecting it. It got to December and I was like, on my kind of YouTube calculator algorithm thing, it said I wasn't supposed to hit it until January, February time. So I can't lie, I haven't prepared for this. But last night, the day after I'm recording this podcast episode or this video, we hit 1 million subscribers on my YouTube channel, This Esme, and I am just blown away. So I want to say thank you. I also want to say this isn't like a, woo, we hit 1 million kind of special video, because it doesn't really feel like the time to celebrate at the moment with everything that's gone on recently. I was going to do a big party with all the horses, but that doesn't feel quite right at the moment. So 2025, I think, is going to be the beginning of 2025 is when we're going to celebrate the 1 million. But honestly, I wasn't prepared. I probably should have been. I wasn't expecting it. I didn't want to get my hopes up to get it before the end of the year. So I just want to say thank you, because that has honestly, it's blown me away. I can't believe we've actually finally got there, because I've been doing, social media for a long time. So I just wanted to say thank you, and don't worry, there will be a big thank you celebration at some stage, but now is not the time. But also, before we get into today's episode, I just want to say a huge thank you to Red Post for sponsoring the podcast, sponsoring the video. They've been a really big supporter of the channel over the years, so thank you, Red Post. If you need any equestrian or country needs, you can get it at redpostequestrian.co.uk. They ship all over the world, but they're based in the UK. So yeah, if you need any horsey bits, check them out. But anyway, let's get into the video or the podcast, because there is a lot to cover. I am going to do it month by month, and you can really see what a roller coaster 2024 has been for me, because I'll be like, oh, this really great thing happened, and then this really not so great thing happened. So we can be in it together, we can have a little recap, I can give you the download on what happened in 2024. So starting off with January, my horse Joey had just been released from hospital after being in there for 3 weeks, because he injured himself and had to be in a cast. But don't worry, January, things were on the up. He was getting better. The whole of basically January, we were doing rehab with him. So I was doing a lot of walking on the ground, lots of light hacking to get him moving, getting that blood flow to his leg. But anyway, so January started out a little bit rough because I was rehabbing my horse after paying a very expensive vet bill. So it started off a little bit rocky, but it's all good, because also in January, I released my new book. So that was very exciting. It was Ellie and the Pony Camp Mystery, which was the third book of the Starlight Stables gang that I've written along with my co-author. And oh my goodness, that I think is one of my favourite books. Just saying, 2025, look out for book 4. It's going to be about Daniel, one of the characters. But anyway, so just put that out there. And again, I was blown away by you guys, because in Ireland, it was the #1 book in the children's section. It was book of the month. So thank you to all of you for the support of the book over the years, because that, again, was a big shock. So started off a bit rocky, and then things got better. Oh yeah, I had my 10-year anniversary with Casper, so we celebrated that. I did a little 10-year anniversary story of my time with Casper, who is my horse that I had for 10 years. Obviously, it was 10-year anniversary as me. But I got him when I was 12, so he's kind of been my teenagehood horse that we've kind of grown up together. As you guys know, that was a little bit of a roller coaster of a story as well, if you know my story with Casper. So there we go. Anyway, that was January. January for me is a bit of a quiet month. Nothing much happens. Everyone is just fed up with mud and the winter, and that is what I've got to come. Anyway, moving on to February. I went to one of the World Horse Welfare rehoming centres, and we did a really big video all about the Dover 26. I would, if you haven't seen that, please go and check it out. It's really, really important to me. The year before, I did a March on Parliament ride where I rode around London and did a little protest on horseback. And in 2024, the bill went through for the Kept Animals Bill. So basically, to put it into simple terms, it means that horses and animals being smuggled out of the UK for the meat market is made a bit harder. So win for animals, win for horses. That was incredible. So thank you to all of you guys that have signed the petition as well. So again, another win for 2024. But then I feel like each month I've got a good point and a bad point. That is how 2024 has been for me. And then after that, I went through a rough breakup. So if you've been through a breakup before, you will know how draining that is, how heartbreaking it is. So yeah, not good. Again, that's kind of private. Let's move on. Then we go to March. Oh my gosh, again, March was a real roller coaster of a year because, okay, so I've just gone through this breakup. Literally exactly a week after that, my donkey Bruno unfortunately passed away. So that was March. This was the beginning of March. This was literally only a few days into March. That was rough. That was pretty rough. But you know what? It was okay because I escaped all of my problems. And where did I go? I went to sunny Florida. So I just want to say thank you to all of the people that made my trip to Florida possible. All of the brands and the sponsors, especially Skims as well. They flew me out to West Palm Beach where I did a whole photo shoot with them. So that was a pinch me experience, a pinch me moment. I also ticked off a few things that I've wanted to do for so many years. I tried hunter jumpers for the first time, which is like a style of riding that's very big in the USA, especially as half of my YouTube audience is from the USA. So shout out to my USA friends. Also, I tried equitation as well, which I've always wanted to try, which as a show jumper, these things were very difficult because I had lots of show jumpery bad habits. So when I was trying to learn this slightly similar but also very different equestrian discipline, I kept wanting to go back to my old ways. But oh my goodness, I had so much fun. I went to Ocala, I went to the World Equestrian Centre, I went to Wellington and looked around some incredible horse barns. So everybody who made that trip possible, thank you so much. I think it was a very well-timed trip because I was going through a rough time and I just felt like I just went away, and I feel very, very grateful for that I was able to, do that trip. I mean, that trip was planned like a year in advance. It just happened to be a really good time to go away and get away from everything. So when I came back, I felt revived, rejuvenated, ready to go. Also, in that month of March, we had some new family members because we got our chickens, so they are all still doing very well. They're all named after planets. So, and they were egg production chickens, and they are looking so good now. They've got all their feathers back. If you're a regular listener, you'll know that my mum loves feeding up all of my animals. So they were quite scrawny when we first got them, and they're now looking brill. They're looking great. They're living their happy chicken life, scratching around the farm, going free range every now and again. Well, they are free range, but there are some areas where we're like, chickens, don't go there. For example, my granddad's flower beds. We're like, no chickens, don't scratch up the flowers. Go to the other side of the farm instead. Anyway, moving on. So we had some good times. Also, it was the podcast's 1 year anniversary as well in March. So we had a little birthday party for that. My friend made me a cake, which was beautiful. So that was good fun. So March, again, a lot of things happened. A lot of things went well, but also didn't. Next up, moving on to April. April was okay. I was in my healing era. That sounds so cringy, but anyway, moving on. So April, I was doing a lot of stuff for me. I did lots of different activities, hang out with my friends a lot. I did some mounted games as well with the England team, which was so much fun. I really enjoyed filming that. I also had, at the end of April, another trip to the USA. You guys can't get rid of me. I'm also coming back next year. I'm going back to Kentucky. So this year, when's this podcast coming out? In 2024, let's get this correct. In 2024, I went to the Kentucky 3-day event for the first time in my life, which I have been planning to go to for so many years. We were planning to go to it in 2020. Obviously, you guys all know what happened in 2020, so that didn't happen. But we finally managed to get there in 2024, and I'm so excited to say that I'm going to be back for 2025. I might also, we're hopefully planning in 2025 to maybe do another trip in the USA, tagging along on the Kentucky trip. We will see. But exciting content coming soon. I feel like every content creator says that, but there is, I promise. Anyway, so that was April. I was like, okay, all good. Things are hopefully on and up now. Having fun with my social media. The drama is gone. But no. We go to May and we lose another donkey. Oh my gosh, this has been the year of grief. Very, very sadly, we lost Willow. And then I was like, oh, goodness, I really need to make like an announcement video. So if you've seen that video, I cry my eyes out throughout the whole video. So that was tough, especially as when it comes to grief and having a social media presence, you never really know how to act, what to do, what's the best thing. There's no kind of script on like, okay, where's the manual? Okay, this is what you do when this happens. So that was tough, but some good things happened as well. Cool, there's a theme to this video, isn't there? So in May, I was very, very honoured to be invited to Buckingham Palace, which was wild. Absolutely wild. I have a video on that if you want to check that out if you haven't seen it, because honestly, it felt like I was dreaming, because I just walked up to the gate, handed them my invitation, handed them my form of ID, which was my passport, and they were like, okay, in you go. So I had to like go through all these tourists where I've, living near London, I've walked past Buckingham Palace quite a few times, especially when I get the train to Victoria. So literally walking through the gates that you see on the TV all the time, that was absolutely wild. So that was to celebrate the Brooke Charity's 90th anniversary. As you guys know, I'm an ambassador for the Brooke Charity. Back in 2019, I did a charity trip with them to Senegal, and then over the years, we've done lots of campaigns, fundraising. Also, I've done a lot of petitions that you guys have managed to sign that have also changed laws as well. So thank you to you guys for signing these petitions and getting these things through, Parliament and laws. So that is incredible. So that was a big celebration for their 90th anniversary. I met Queen Camilla as well. So that was, again, very wild, getting to go actually inside Buckingham Palace, having like a little afternoon lunch. Again, speechless. Did not have that on my 2024 bingo card, but there we go. So one thing I have learnt in 2024 is I can sometimes be, a little bit anxious. I can be a little bit of a worrier sometimes. And I often find that the things that you worry about, they never really end up happening. If a bad thing happens, it's like a wrecking ball that just comes into your life that you didn't see, and it comes and bites you in the bum, and you're like, I was not expecting that. But also, some of the best things that happen in your life, you never expect that just happen or come into your life. Like, I wasn't expecting that at the beginning of the year, but here we go. So, and also, there are some incredible people that I've met this year as well that I wasn't expecting to meet. So you guys know who you are. The new people that are coming to my life, they're awesome. So there's good and bad. Anyway, sorry. What else happened in May? Also, I went to the Chelsea Flower Show in May. May was my gardening era. So we did a whole renovation project on my garden that I did on my channel that you guys loved. I'm going to have to do that again in the spring because everything's kind of, now it's winter. It looks a little bit rough, but I'm so excited for spring to roll round, get all my garden furniture out again, get everything looking beautiful. I'm going to hopefully go back to the Chelsea Flower Show again on their media day. I was very kindly invited last year, so hopefully can go again this year because that was incredible. So 2024 has been the year where I really got into gardening. It is very therapeutic. Maybe that's a good thing. It was a good thing that it came into my life this year. Anyway, moving on to June, which I think might have been one of my favourite months this year. I mean, I am a June baby, so it is my month. It is my month. But anyway, so I started off June. After doing my beautiful garden in May, I had a big party with my friends round. One of my best friends, Lucy, she helped me cook a whole feast and barbecue for my birthday party, so very, very grateful to her for all of her help. She's like my right hand, I was going to say my right hand man. She's basically the one running the show. Whenever I have like a gathering, she's very good at cooking and food and that kind of thing. I mean, she is a professional chef. So she very kindly helped me help get my birthday party set up. So very, very grateful to her. Had a very lovely time with everybody on my birthday. And then also June was the month where I got invited as a Instagram content creator and got to do a lot of cool things with Instagram. So I was invited to the Instagram Bake Off as one of the contestants. I mean, our cake, if you've listened to that podcast episode, it didn't go well. I think we came last, but it was a lot of fun. I met the head guy of Instagram, Adam Missouri, which was incredible. So that was a very pinch me moment as well that I wasn't expecting in 2024. So, also, I think one of my favourite days this year in 2024 was when I was filming for Now TV as a stunt rider for House of the Dragon for their promo of the new season. And I got to get completely dressed up in warrior princess gear. I rode this awesome horse called Bro, where I had a flaming sword, a flaming bow and arrow. And when I say flaming, I mean it was literally on fire. Also, the amount of people, so disappointed, the amount of people I showed this to, and they're like, oh my gosh, it's the fire AI. And I was like, no, it was literally on fire. We had a whole guy there and his job was just fire, to make sure that nobody caught on fire, that the fire was safe. He passed me the fire when it was my time to do the fire. We had a whole team. It was incredible. So that was honestly so much fun. Probably one of my favorite filming days this year, because it was just brilliant. Also launched my Lemure collection, which I was like, that was one thing that I was expecting for 2024, because these things, you basically have to plan them a year in advance, because you've got to test the fabric, you've got to make sure the colour samples are correct. There's a lot that goes into it behind the scenes, which I didn't realise until I started doing these things. But yeah, you guys absolutely loved that. You sent me so many lovely messages about it. So thank you for all the love of my Corn Blue Lemure Esme collaboration. 2025. I'm not going to say anything because I can't, but keep your eyes peeled for cool things coming soon. Anyway, moving on. We have July. July was the month of hanging out with friends, going to the beach. Oh my gosh, July, we actually had some good weather for a little bit. I just remember July was the month of the beach for me. I remember one day I filmed my morning routine video with Casper where I took him to the beach, and then that afternoon met up with my friends, went to the beach again and went swimming in the sea. So if there was ever a sunny day, even if like not all of my friends could come, we were like, guys, if there's a sunny day, we're just gonna have to meet up and go to the beach. Sorry if you can't make it. There were some days I couldn't make it. No hard feelings, but we don't get much sun in the UK, so when it's sunny, you've got to enjoy it while it lasts. And July, I would say this summer was when things started to, I thought, brilliant, things are going great, the channel's going well, spending lots of time with friends, maybe met somebody new, had a good time, all going well. And then one of my family members had, I was going to say a big health scare. It wasn't just a scare. It was a emergency surgery. You're going to need chemo, going and visiting them at the hospital. And that was one of those things that we weren't expecting. It just suddenly came, and we were like, oh my goodness. So obviously that affected me very deeply, as this was a very close family member as well. Luckily, they're doing all right. We're celebrating that they've just finished chemo. So I know that cancer is something that affects everybody at some stage. Like, everybody knows at least one person that it's affected. So I just want to put it out there. If you are going through a difficult time with your health, or a family member is going through a difficult time with their health, that I've been there. I know what it's like. It's tough. And you just... there's not really an advice that you can give, but I just want to say I'm sorry that you're going through that, and I hope it gets better. So anyway, let's make it lighthearted again. Let's move on. Okay, so summer, again, good things and bad things. We also did a meetup with Duke at the World Horse Welfare at Glenderspooner Farm, which is where we rehomed him from back in 2021. He went back there and so many of you guys came and met him and me, and we raised a lot of money for World Horse Welfare as well. That's also when they launched their stable squad as well. So if you want to try and donate to World Horse Welfare and join their stable squad, go and check that out. It's a brilliant thing that they're doing, and that was a really, really heartwarming day. It was such a wholesome day. So many of you were so lovely. So much money was raised for the charity. And yeah, hopefully lots of more exciting things with World Horse Welfare coming in 2025. But yeah, they are an incredible charity. So I had to mention them again in my 2024 recap. But yes, that was pretty much the summer. The summer was filled with horse shows, illness that we'll skip over, and also spending time with friends. And I tell you what, again, there was good and bad, but I'm very lucky to say that I had a lovely summer. Okay, moving on. We're going to go into October now, because I'm going to count kind of the summer as summer. September can be summer. September's normally like a little bit of quieter time, but for me, there wasn't any like big, I did this really big amazing thing, I did this and this, because me and my family decided, you know what, my work things can wait, my opportunities can wait, we can schedule that for a later time. I just want to be at home with my family. So anyway, moving on to October. Again, I was very, very honoured to do some more awesome stuff with Instagram. I was invited to their wellness lunch because I am apparently a wellness creator. I feel like for most people, when they ask me, what sort of content do you create? Like before, like maybe a few years ago, I would have been like, I'd make content about horses. But now there are so many different things. Like I do horses. That sounds funny. I make content about horses, about country life, about kind of home renovation, gardening, getting outside, the podcast. Like there's so many different things that I do now, and I feel very honoured that I've kind of been I'm in the wellness community, so there's loads of kind of content creators that I've become friends with that do slightly different things. So a lot of people in that community do art and talk about kind of emotions and expression with art, and then there are people who do cooking and show you healthy recipes, and there are people who are in the fitness category and do lots of like workout routines. So that's kind of like my social media clique that I've kind of been in, and there are so many lovely people within that community that I have met this year. So I just want to say thank you to you guys for welcoming me into your like little wellness bubble. I think maybe because we're in the wellness category, everyone, I don't know, I've just been very, very lucky to meet some really lovely people in that category. So thanks to you guys. So yeah, I've done a lot of stuff on Instagram. So I went to their wellness dinner. I also was invited to their HQ in London, which was incredible, where we had a wellness day there. We had like a panel and there was some talks. We had a talk from Instagram themselves talking about, you know, what's coming up, which was very, very cool as a creator, because you guys know this is what I do all the time. I was like properly geeked out at all the different stuff that they were saying. So yeah, very, very grateful to Instagram this year for all of the stuff that I've done with them. What else happened in March? Oh my gosh, I mean, not March. Cool, I had a little dyslexic moment then. October. October was also Halloween, where I dressed up all of the horses for Halloween. Oh my goodness, my Cruella de Vil one with Casper as a Dalmatian. You guys loved that so much. Oh my gosh, that post on Instagram did so well. So thank you for all the love on that one. That was so much fun. I think Casper loved it as well, because he is a horse. He loves having a bath. He will literally just stand there and be like, girl, give me a massage, wash me. He loves a pamper session. He is a pampered princess. Maybe that's why he rolls so much in the dirt. Anyway, moving on. October was also a little bit difficult, because the kind of relationship that I'm in has gone long distance for the winter. So if any of you guys have been through a long distance relationship, you will know that that is tough. So if you're going through that right now, that's what I'm going through right now. But it's okay. I've kept myself busy, and that's been good. That's the best thing I can do. I was like, okay, I'm on my own again. Time to do the kind of social media grind, the work grind. Let's go. I've been very grateful for all my friends keeping me company as well. And then we go into November, where I was invited to the biggest red carpet, or actually, should I say green carpet, of the year. I was invited to the European tour or leg of the Wicked premiere. Very, very grateful. That, honestly, I think that whenever my friends say, Ez, I really want to listen to your podcast, but I don't know what episode to listen to, or like new people when I talk about my podcast, I always recommend my Wicked premiere episode, because I don't know how long it is. I think it was a slightly longer one, and literally the whole podcast I just talk about the chaos that happened. So that's definitely one of the episodes that I'm most proud of, and was so much fun to record. So would go and check that out. I feel like I've said that a lot in today's video, being like, go and check this out, go and check that out. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be that person, but I'm quite proud of that one. But anyway, that was an incredible pinch me experience that I will remember for the rest of my life, which I'm so grateful to be invited to. So that was, again, such a wild experience. Also in November, I was invited to the Spotify HQ, which was, again, wild because of the podcast, which compared to my other channels, I haven't actually been doing that long. In March, it'll be my 2-year anniversary of the podcast. So at this point, I've only been doing it like a year and a bit, or just over a year and a half. So that is, again, wild. So thank you for all of the love and support on the podcast. Lots of cool things happening. You can watch the podcast as well on Spotify. So that is very cool. You can download it as well. So if you're out and about, you want to listen to the podcast, but you don't have enough, data left, or you don't have any Wi-Fi, you can listen to me on the go. So I can never leave you. I am always whispering in your ear. That sounded so creepy. Anyway, sorry. I just had to. Anyway, moving on. So November was all right. November is one of my busiest months. So I was just like getting all my Christmas content filmed, getting all the stuff for the brands filmed, because they like stuff to be done before Christmas, because they're like, please buy our stuff as Christmas presents. That's kind of how social media and brand stuff works. November is just, it's a busy time. And then we roll round to December. Now, normally, most people don't really count December as their kind of yearly recap. Like Spotify Wrapped, that comes out on the 3rd or 4th of December. December just doesn't count for some people. Beginning of December, people are always already doing their like 2024 Wrapped. Like, this is what I got up to. Girl, you still have one more month left. What are you doing? And 2024 for sure was like, your year hasn't finished yet, Esme. You thought it was all over. You thought the worst had come. But oh no, did 2024 have some more things in store for me? Because yeah, it was rough. Lost my childhood pony that I've had for almost a decade and a half, 15 years, Mickey, as you guys know. Which is still fresh, so I'm not going to chat about it too much, because again, I didn't want to make this a sad episode. But that was very tough. And then navigating grief, and then literally a week later, having to go to a horse show and do lots of filming and be my happy, smiley self. And a lot of you guys, I think you guys are the reason that I managed to get through that horse show, because so many of you were so lovely, gave me a big hug. We cried together, so I just want to say thank you for that. And also during that week, I was very, very honoured to be invited to the RSPCA Young Photographer Awards and be one of the people that gave away the prizes and presented the awards. And that was honestly such a lovely, lovely day. And I was, so honoured to be invited there to the Tower of London, where I was giving away the awards. So I just want to thank them for inviting me. So December has been a lot. I also released another book in December, Casper the Connemara, as you guys know. I was very, very grateful to be able to release that book about me and Casper's journey together. I previously have done a book similar to that, which was me and Mickey's journey together, Mickey the Blue-Eyed Pony. So it only made sense for me to do one with Casper. And yeah, that came out at a tough time as well. So December, it's been a lot. So after all of that, this December, my family, we decided we were going to have the biggest Christmas ever. So there were 12 of us in total. It was a big Christmas. I feel so grateful to have a Christmas with all of my grandparents still here, especially at the age of 23. So yeah, this Christmas was a very special one. And then after that, I managed to reach 1 million subscribers just as the year finishes. So again, I just want to say how grateful I am for 1 million subscribers, especially as I've been almost doing this. I created my channel in 2015, but I didn't really start posting videos until 2016. 2016 kind of regularly, 2017, it was like every week she was on the grind. So I've kind of been doing this 8, almost 9 years now, I want to say. And obviously that's a long time, but I never thought when I first started that I'd ever get 100,000 subscribers, let alone 1 million. So I just want to say a huge thank you to all of you for all of your love and support this year, during the difficult times, during the good times, and just for all of the love and support on the channel and on my content, because it means more to me than you'll ever know. You are the reason that I'm able to do this as my job, and that I'm able to have the flexibility of having a job where I work for myself, where when my family needs me, I can be there. And when I'm going through tough times, I can schedule videos and have a little bit of a break. So I just want to say thank you, because that's meant a lot to me this year, especially.